I'm Carrie Peterson, Customer Account Services, and I'm just going to talk to you about Marketplace and go through a quick demonstration about what it is, how you can use it. Online Marketplace, departments can use it for taking online registrations, so conference or event registration, and also the accompanying payment. You can also use it just for information gathering if you just need to get information from people but not necessarily accept a payment. You can use it for that. And then also for general online sales or payment collection. The best example of payment collection that is currently in use that I can think of is the math department. They actually do like these math genealogy type posters. And they're all different dollar amounts, so rather than, and they're very customized, so rather than put all that stuff out there and have people pick, they get their order and then they give them the information and say, okay, go out there now and pay this amount. Put this amount in and then go through and pay it. So there are formally approved online payment solutions, so if you want to take and accept payments online, this is pretty much your alternative. There's no implementation or maintenance costs associated with it. I mean, there is, but our department is kind of covering those for the individual departments because we want them to use this because it's a good system. We know it's secure and we know what they're doing. There is only the monthly credit card fees. Obviously, if you're taking credit cards, then the merchant gets assessed those fees and then we just assess them back to use it on a usage basis. It's the site itself for building is really user friendly. It's very easy to do. I can do it. Anybody can do it. It takes really within. I say here once access is set up, most can be completed within a day. The actual training part of that is generally only like an hour. I can get people pretty comfortable in the system, know what they got to do within an hour. It is configured to interface with finance to update your funds in the general ledger. So you just tell me what funds you want, I put it into the system, and then on a daily basis, as people are purchasing products, registering for events, the next day pretty much the money will show in your funds. The information collected is exportable into a CSV file. So you have all your registrants, you go into the back end, look at it, and you can pop it into Excel. Everything goes into columns, so you can manipulate it, use it to create name tags or whatever else you need it for, mailing lists, whatever you can use it for. So then we'll go ahead and look at a test site. And my link worked. That I created. Oh, my link worked, but it didn't go up there. It's on here. There. Okay. Now I might not have the rest of my PowerPoint, but that's okay. Okay. This is a site that I made in the test environment for athletic camps. Athletics doesn't actually use this right now for their athletic camps, but it was a really good way to kind of show how you can use it. This is the first page that people would land on coming from your departmental website. They have like a special announcement. What we put out here was stuff that is applicable to all of the camps so that people would see that right away. You can also put up here, if you're accepting registrations and it's coming to an end, so you want to get your registration in now for such and such an event, or, make sure you order this, whatever you want to put on that page. Then you have the different, these are categories. So for this particular site, there's volleyball camps and then there's basketball camps. So you can pick which one you want to register for. We'll go ahead and do volleyball. And because there was quite a few, this is the way that it shows on here. All the different types of camps that are offered, and just kind of a quick view of them. If you click on the camp itself, it'll bring you into all the details of that particular one and also give you the option to do your registration. So we'll go ahead and we'll go back one because I'm actually going to register for a different camp. This youth day camp here, they have different options for whether you're going to be in the younger grade or the older grade. The grades 2 through 5 here, it says is 9 a.m. to noon, but 6 through 8 is 1 to 4. So obviously they have, say 25 spaces in that first slot, 25 spaces in the second slot. Rather than set up completely different products for it, we're just going to pick right away here which one we want. Then we'll go in and do the registration based on what we pick here. So we're going to register. And again, it tells you little details. And then this is basically just like a registration form. Just like a paper registration form, you can build it to be an online registration form. And I'll register my daughter. She's gone to camp I don't know how many times in this test environment. All the things with stars there are required, and then the things without them are optional. So you can have required, you can have optional, you can have these drop-down menus, text entry boxes. There is also one additional thing that you can set up, and that's multiple select check boxes, where they can pick more than one thing. And any of these, they're called modifiers in the system. So any of these can also change the price. So you see there you have the price of $110. But let's say we were also going to serve lunch, and if they wanted a certain thing for lunch, it would be one price. If they wanted a different thing for lunch, it would be another price. It will automatically increase or decrease the price based on what they chose. So I'll just keep going here. And I'm just going to bypass those two. These two are ones that would probably be more applicable to the different, to the older kids. They know their position and everything. Okay, click on continue. It brings them to a shopping cart. It really is just like most other online shopping sites. And it gives them kind of a view here of what they've ordered. Gives them kind of a synopsis so they can continue shopping, go back and do more, or they can check out. So we'll just go to checkout. The delivery address here, you can ask them for that. This isn't required. If you don't really care what their address is, you don't have to put this in there, and then they don't have to type it all in. But it will still automatically ask them for their email address. This information also is available to you when you're running reports from the system. And pretty soon I'm going to have to get used to my new address. So. It doesn't like not using more good of that. Okay, and they also have the option of putting in a text message number here, so that when the person finishes their order, they're automatically going to get an email confirmation. If they put in a text message number, they'll also get a text, just with a real short one with just like their basic information. And I think I brought my phone, so maybe we'll go off here in a minute. And it's test, this environment again is test, so Verizon is the only choice on there, but in reality, there's all of them are out there. Oh, see, it's very smart. Okay, continue. Okay, payment methods. You can have the capability of using a credit card or an electronic check. I won't use the electronic check, but I'll just show. It does tell them, it's really kind of handy. This is your routing number. This is your account number. That's how you need to make your payment. It also says, do not enter your debit card number, because we have a lot of students who actually do that when they're making their payment. They enter their debit card number instead of their account number, because nobody uses checks anymore. So we'll go ahead and use a credit card. And actually one thing I should mention too with the electronic checks, if people choose to pay you with an electronic check, you don't have a credit card fee on those. So if you get a lot of your payments by e-check, this is going to be an even cheaper option for you to use.
How do you know if the account is good?
It knows right away. Well, for credit cards, it knows immediately. It'll know. For electronic checks, we don't know right away. It can take up to 10 business days for us to get a reject notification if it's a bad account number. Then we usually tell the department and say, because I get all the reject notifications, and I don't get a whole lot from marketplace payments. But if I do, I just tell the department, and then it's up to them to collect the money. So if you do require their delivery address, and it's the same as their billing address, they just check this box and it automatically populates it in there. Okay, then one more time, I get to review my information before I submit it, the total, the address I've entered. You can set up promotional codes to take off a percentage or a dollar amount of certain things out here. What a lot of people do with like conferences, they want their speakers to register because they want to include them in their accounts, but they don't want to charge them anything for it. So they'll give their speakers a promotion code, and then their speakers can enter that, and it'll pop their registration fee down to 0. But I don't have one of those. So then return policy agreement. Return policy is one of those things that's required by the bank. You have to have it. You have to disclose what your return policy is before the people submit their order. We don't really care what your return policy is. Your return policy can be, there are no refunds, whatever you want to put there, they're just going to have to agree to it. If they have issues, they'll know how to get a hold of you and say, I don't like your return policy or something. So you just have to put it out there, and then they submit their order, and that means they're agreeing to your return policy. And this is your order summary. They get a nice little thing back that's got their order number on it. They can print this out, and it makes it real nice. They also get an email to whatever email address they put in. And then we'll go back. And that's the customer site. It's pretty basic, it's pretty much the same, and it's very easy to build from the back end to get it to look like this. Most of them they look like this automatically. And then we'll go back and just do it this way. And then I'll just show you really quick an example of what the reports would look like when you pull the reports from there. Test environments tend to be a little slow. Just go into reports here. And if you're a user, chances are you're not going to have all of these different options there. You're just going to have your own store. Since I kind of oversee all of them, I see all of them there when I log in. Just go ahead and run a report. I did some earlier transactions today when I was writing this myself. So you get kind of a brief synopsis, and you can change the date range, run it for a month at a time or since the beginning of time if you want to. Click on the product name, and it will pull it up like this where you can see all of their information. But if you export to CSV, it'll put it into Excel, and then all the data is there in columns, so you can pull out the email addresses or find everybody from DGF or whatever it is that you need to do for your purposes. Okay. And now I went back to the beginning, didn't I? If you want to request a marketplace site, want to have one, you just go to the NDSU homepage and go to Customer Account Services or ndsu.edu/CAS, and there'll be the information pertaining to marketplace there. Also, our Policy 509, which has to do with electronic transactions, which everybody should review if they're going to do it, and then the related procedure. You complete the request form for marketplace, and then anyone who's going to have access to marketplace and work in it should complete the employee credit card security agreement. You just submit them to me, and then we can get started on it. Okay, that's it. I think pretty good for time. Any questions?
I have a couple questions.
Yes.
So I only get the reports after my coworkers run them. I haven't gotten in and run them. So can you customize the report before it goes to Excel? Because the ones I get only maybe have 5 columns. It doesn't have all the addresses and such. It just has our funding. So that's something you can customize before you put it into Excel, or do you have to sort it once it's in Excel?
You have to start it once it's in
Okay, so
Excel.
that is-
Yeah, so they're probably taking out some of that data before they give it to you. Yep.
And then when the credit cards or e-checks bounce if they're not accepted, does the registrant get it for us as employers? So do they get an email saying that they're,
The
the
credit cards, if the credit cards aren't accepted, the system will know that right away, and they'll get a message. You'll never even see that they did a transaction. So they'll say your credit card was declined, so they'll have to go. They'll still be in there, and they'll just go in and redo it. The electronic check, they don't get a notification until it comes from you.
Okay.
I get the notification from the bank, tell you, and then rely on you to tell your.
That doesn't go to their email or anything? just
Not
confirmation?
that.
Okay.
Not that one. Not the rejection stuff.
We do get a notice from the bank though.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular message.
Yeah. They should. Everybody says they don't get anything. We know that.
I had a question about the customer site that you had.
Mhm.
There was when you made the volleyball camp, there was a odd one at the bottom, like balance.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I was going to do that and I forgot. Okay. Let me go back here. Oh, cool. All right. Okay, that one I set up kind of more just to illustrate the just entering in just a payment after you've told them how much they want to pay. So this is like the example that I was thinking of where a team is registering. They're not going to go through and register each person individually through here. They're probably going to send in like a paper form. And then maybe they make a deposit and then they have a balance to pay. So this is where athletics or whoever would direct them out, say, here's your balance, go out here and pay it. So they can just enter in whatever amount it is that they want. And then you can, again, even just with the payment that they're going to enter or a product that they're going to buy, you also have this additional information that you can ask for them. Like if they're finishing paying on an invoice or something, you can have them enter in the invoice number so that you can match it up together. I'm not going to finish this one because I put an authorization required on there and I can't remember what I set up for the authorization code. I was playing around with some stuff and then I forget when I'm doing stuff. But so does that answer your question? Anything else?